Kuiper loves JJ. It's your Maize and Blue review update for Valentine's Day. And for Michigan, it's all about the combine, the Super Bowl being over, the draft in Detroit coming up. But first, it will be the NFL's scouting combine starting in 12 days on Monday, February the 26th. Michigan will be in Indy in full force with a record 18 Wolverines invited to work out. The record breaks the number of 16 players that were invited to the combine by LSU's 2016 national championship team. Quarterback J.J. McCarthy will likely be U of M's first player off the board in this year's draft. ESPN's Mel Kiper projects McCarthy as a first-rounder in his initial mock draft.
I'm going J.J. McCarthy here. The talent that he has, he can make the throws, but he can beat you with his legs. He is a tremendous athlete. He's going to test off the charts athletically, Kev. He's a tremendous Josh Allen-type competitor. You saw him in a national championship game, really, with his legs, provide that key impetus and get them going and change momentum and change field position.
So yes, Kiper likes McCarthy to go to the Seahawks at 16. Here's more of Kiper on Michigan's championship quarterback.
J.J. McCarthy just turned 21. Seattle would be a perfect spot. They can let him sit, watch, and learn for a year. He can be the heir apparent. Certainly, J.J. McCarthy needs time, but the talent, I think, is undeniable. And I love his attitude, love his work ethic, his passion, his toughness. Everything about him, competitiveness-wise, is phenomenal. J.J. McCarthy, roll the dice in the mid-first round, possibly Seattle at 16.
Keep an eye on that. Michigan head coach Sharon Moore is on the verge of adding another coach or two to his on-field staff. Wisconsin D-line coach Greg Scruggs is the presumptive next U of M D-line coach. Scruggs was born and played his high school ball in Cincinnati, Ohio. Former U of M linebackers coach Brian Jean-Marie, who went to Tennessee after U of M, is considered to be the leader to fill Michigan's linebacking coaching vacancy. Meanwhile, Stephen Adegoke, current Houston Texans safety coach, is at the top of the list to be U of M's next defensive backs coach. Also in the mix for the defensive secondary coaching spot is Lamar Morgan, the DC and safeties coach currently at Louisiana. Corey Parker, the Toledo Rockets defensive backs coach, remains a candidate as well for Sharon Moore. Michigan announces today that they've partnered up with Learfield and Altea Sports. Part of the deal includes an in-house GM and senior manager. U of M becomes the first program in the country to have an exec-level position in the program. Michigan AD Ward Manuel, in a statement, said, quote, "We will be as aggressive as we can within the rules." National Signing Day was last Wednesday. The Wolverines signed 27 players in the early 24 signing period, and they stayed at 27 until this past weekend. 24 three-star signee Jaden Smith requested and was granted a release from his national letter of intent. So U of M's 24 class sits now at 26 players and stays at number 13 overall on Rivals.com team rankings. Because Jim Harbaugh left the program as head coach, current players and signees have a 30-day transfer window. Harbaugh left on Wednesday, January the 24th. Players have until February the 23rd to enter the portal, so another 9 days. Michigan has 3 players committed right now to its 2025 recruiting football class. 4-star tight end Eli Owens, defensive end Bobby Kanka from Howell, Michigan, and the 23 Gatorade Player of the Year in Florida, quarterback Carter Smith. U of M has added a pair of players so far out of the transfer portal. Linebacker Jay Sean Barham from Maryland, and the other U of M portal addition so far is Northwestern guard Josh Preeb. Both Preeb and Barham were officially added to the U of M football roster last week. U of M with 8 players that have put their names in the portal: Reese Atterbury, Matthew Hibner, Amarian Walker, Darius Clemens, Jake Thaw, CJ Stokes, Cameron Calhoun, and Joey Velasquez. Stokes heading to Charlotte, Clemens, Oregon State. Walker goes to Ole Miss, and Velasquez says he will walk on at Ohio State. The Michigan football spring game date is set April the 20th, 4/20. The defending champs will hit the field for the first time since winning the title back on January the 8th. The Michigan basketball team got down 18 at the half, and they lose by 29 at Illinois last night, 97-68. Terrence Shannon Jr. poured in 31 for the Illini. Michigan falls to 3-11 in league and 8-17 overall. Next up for Michigan is this Saturday night at 8 o'clock at home against Michigan State. Breaking news in the Big Ten today, Ohio State has fired head coach Chris Holtmann. Their basketball coach, OSU, missed the NCAA tournament last year and looks to be on the outside looking in this year. Michigan women's basketball team is at number 4 Iowa tomorrow night against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Hawkeyes' Caitlin Clark is 8 points away from breaking the women's all-time scoring record. Michigan women at Iowa, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That game is on Peacock. And the Michigan hockey team hits the road this weekend for a pair of games at Penn State. That's the latest on Michigan. Stay tuned for Good Afternoon Michigan Football with former Wolverine Jim Scarcelli. That's coming your way at the top of the hour. And for the latest on U of M, go to the MaizeandBlueReview.com or go to Michigan.Rivals.com, and we will see you over on the